The cocaine in the White House. Yeah, you didn't expect that on 4th of July, but the Secret Service is trying to figure out how cocaine was discovered inside the West Wing, of all places. NewsNation has confirmed that a sort of white powdery substance was found on Sunday. The preliminary test coming back showing it was indeed the drug. More tests are being done.
And the White House shut down for a hazmat crew response, a precautionary measure more than 20 years after the anthrax scare in the nation's capital. But now the questions remain, whose cocaine was it? How did it get there in the first place? Joe Khalil is live for us at the White House this morning with a whole lot more. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Marky. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people had that on their 4th of July bingo card, cocaine at the White House, right? We have confirmed here at NewsNation that the Secret Service is now in the midst of an investigation trying to figure out how that cocaine ended up here at the White House. As you can imagine, caused quite a stir when it was found Sunday night. It actually temporarily shut down the entire complex. Look, it's a big deal anytime you find a random, unknown powdered substance at any place of work. So you can imagine when that was found at the White House, that was taken as a very serious security matter. Secret Service spokesman Anthony Guglielmi told NewsNation Tuesday that a D.C. fire crew came in Sunday. They tested the substance. They confirmed that it was, in fact, cocaine and not a threat to anyone or the rest of the building. Guglielmi says that it was found in a work area, as he described it, of the West Wing. Now, typically in those types of areas, you've got aides to the president who work there, you've got support staff coming in, and sometimes White House guests as well. Now, at the moment, not exactly clear who the drug belonged to or how it got where it ended up. Those obviously the key questions here. As you might imagine, there are a number of cameras inside of the White House. There are also some entrance logs that could potentially help investigators as they try to dig in and answer some of these most basic questions. Now, Sunday, when this all happened, President Biden and the First Lady, along with a number of other members of their family, they were not here. They were actually at Camp David celebrating the holiday weekend there. In fact, they didn't get back into the White House until yesterday as they flew back in here. They were celebrating the 4th of July on the South Lawn. They had the barbecue planned for veterans and for active duty military. So they were actually not anywhere nearby when all of this happened. You imagine it may have been an even extra security issue had the president been in the West Wing when this was discovered. But certainly a mystery right now that Secret Service and authorities are really trying to solve, Adrienne.
Hey, Joe, real quick question. Are you seeing reports that there was a yellow bar found with possibly a label that said something about cocaine hydrochloride? That's something I saw on USA Today this morning from firefighters. But again, we're still just hearing a lot of details and not confirming them.
So the yellow bar, I believe, is when the fire crew from DC Fire comes in and tests the substance. They have, certain ways of testing. And I think it was just the way that cocaine is labeled as it comes up on their test strip in a yellow color. And so I think if you heard that on the audio recording, that's what is being reported. That's how they sort of determine which drug or what the substance actually is.
Like a pregnancy test, like a litmus test, just something, a bar or a color shade, or a COVID test turning pink.
Like a pregnancy test, just way less happy in the result when you find out what it is.
Joe, excellent reporting, and thank you for that clarification. We appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.